Lions and guests. Huh? Okay, President and fellow Lions and guests. That's even better. Somebody asked me why I wanted to become a Lion. This is my happy dollar, so I can test your President Ken. And my second happy dollar is Doug Harvey went to the Morton Lions to visit with them, so he's out of the office the rest of the day, so that's a happy dollar.
Fellow Lions and guests, that's my happy dollar because I went to the Lions Club at Kelso with our esteemed president yesterday and I finished punching my ticket for my blue badge.
All right.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I don't know what else to say, but you know, that sunshine puts a lot of joy in our hearts, and everybody's running around hustling and bustling and saying hello to each other today, and it's really great. We're echoing.
Lion Greg Bird.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. Yesterday afternoon, I was sitting in my house, nice and comfortable, had a tube on. My wife comes walking in. She says, my van's not running very good. And I said, it's not. So I went out, and I turned out, heck, it wasn't. So a little bit later, she goes, Greg, and I go, what? She says, we're going to go make Steve Holstay and buy a car.
There you go. Right over to the Lion door. That's the way I feel.
Did you like the nice green weather?
Yeah. Lion George.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, it's terrible getting all this sunshine when other people around the country are getting lots of nice snow.
Lion Roxanne.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I'd like to say a belated happy birthday to Kathy Carmody.
Birthday to you.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I am now 5'9" on both sides of my body because I've got my bionic leg.
Lion Jim.
I'm going to go again. Oh. King Lions, Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I've got $2. One's happy, one's sad. The sad one, many of you may remember a fellow by the name of Frank Gerloff. His widow moved to a little town called Newman Grove, Nebraska. It's about 30 or 40 miles from Norfolk, Nebraska. I called her yesterday because they were saying Nebraska had problems, and she's okay up on the hill, but the town of Newman Grove is underwater right now. And for anybody that lives in the Mississippi Valley, you can look forward to what's coming down from the upper plain. The happy dollar, of course, is somewhere around here is a fellow named Bill Pontius.
Yeah.
I understand he's going to be picking and taking names soon.
That's scary. Lion Cindy Sessions.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I have a request for a prayer for Daryl and Tracy McDaniel, for your older members. You know kind of what they're going through health-wise. The other one, all four of those are happy dollars for sunshine. It's actually warmer here than it was in Hawaii.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, good to be back. I'm about halfway through my flu episode, so anybody that gets this stuff, it's really awful.
You're halfway through?
Halfway. What'd you come
Okay, let's calm down so we can hear people.
Lion Hal Palmer. Thank you.
President Kidd, fellow Lions and guests, this is an absolutely happy dollar to see Bill Pontius here, because believe it or not, he's one of the first people I met when I came to Longview.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah, I understand. And Greg Firth was number 2.
You say Greg Firth is number 2?
Yes, number 2, yes. Okay, that's the Greg Firth dollar right there. I love the sun. I wasn't able to go on my boat. Anybody guess why?
Just doesn't look like.
It was time to prune stuff in the yard and my body hurt so bad.
Yeah. Lion Dave.
Good for me.
President Kim, fellow Lions and guests. I have 2 happy bucks. I think we appreciate and are very happy with Dwayne being back and him running the video. And this is the most, I gave it once before, this is the most loving group that I've ever been in. And I was actually asked to sing a song, so I'm going to do it, and it's fairly short, and it's appropriate. Here we go. God bless America, land that I love, stand beside her and guide her through the night, from the light from above, from the mountains, through the prairies, to the ocean, wide below. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home. Thank you.
Okay, Dwayne, you gotta beat that.
Oh, I can't beat that. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I'm happy to be back, seeing all your happy, smiling faces after I got done seeing the happy, smiling face of Mickey Mouse. And the other dollar is for having a brother like Dave that can sing when I cannot.
Mike Parker. I was going
Lion Mark.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, the first dollar is slightly less than 2 weeks ago. On my birthday, I got a call at 4:40 in the morning from my wife, who had driven off the snow and ice and hit a tree on Columbia Heights Road. The car doesn't look too good, but I don't think we're going to go visit Steve. I think it's going to be repaired. The second sad dollar is about concurrently with that, or right after that. Both of us got the flu, and we're home sick for about a week. I missed last week, so this is a sad dollar for the passing of Joe Daggy. Good Lion, great sense of humor, enjoyed that. And finally, because we can't be all sad, happy dollar for the sunshine.
Like that. Lion Hal Palmer.
President Ken, fellow Lions.
Pat, up here.
Oh, there he is. I got confused because he's now been here 2 weeks in a row, and it kind of scared me a little bit. It looks better that way. So he does look better that way.
Oh, Lord.
I love you too, Pat.
I know. 5 happy bucks because I'm just one of those guys. So did anybody go to the LCCA Home and Garden Show and see all the cool exhibits and all the cool stuff that was there? Yeah, that was a great time. Let's see, Saturday night was another fundraiser over at the Rainier Eagles. Prime rib dinner, you missed it. Because I didn't see literally any of you there except for the stunning couple in the back. Gloria and Dave always are showing up. Third one is definitely a happy buck. Sunday afternoon, I got to spend 4 hours with my son underneath a car repairing an automatic transmission. Anybody here ever repaired an automatic transmission? Yeah. Next time I can guarantee I'm going to write the damn check. Let's see, the fourth happy buck is for the sunshine, and the fifth one is for all the wonderful guests and folks that are in the room. Oh no, I owe you another $1. Yes, I do. Sixth happy dollar is the wonderful Marlene Johansson dropped off at my store the most precious birthday gift ever, and I'm not wearing it today, and I meant to, but they're a pair of socks that says,
I like puppies.
I'm busy making a difference. And that is the way I like to live my life, and I love my socks.
Were they used?
Hello, Mr. President, and fellow Lions, and guests. My happy dollar is because we are blessed this week with fantastic weather.
John
President Ken, members and guests. Ms. Dellers for going to Richfield last night to the Lions meeting. It was a little tricky because they said it was at the Sportsman restaurant. It wasn't there. So we went over to the community center and it wasn't there. There were no cars. And we thought, well, that's not it. So we called the president's number and his wife answered. And she said it's at the sports center by the high school. So we found it. I'm so happy. Mark, the district governor Mark, Coach Mansell, I knew what was John. You have an influence on me, Mark. And it was on the second floor. It was a beautiful place. And they inducted 15 new members. That was exciting. And he got to wear a potato sack. There'll be pictures in the Facebook here. You'll be able to see all of that. And the lights went out at 9 o'clock sharp. So we're sitting in the dark until someone could figure out how to turn the lights on. It was a very eventful evening.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, got 5 happy dollars. Haven't been here for a few weeks, so it's kind of nice to be back. And 2.5 weeks ago, we finally got to meet our grandson, Berkeley Charles Bracy Boswell.
Hey, before you guys get too far, John Claypool's gonna pass out if you don't get his dollar.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
Go to John right now. He's out working. He's a really important person. Lion John Claypool, everybody. Let's clap, okay?
Steve. Oh, President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. Geez, it's nice to be so loved. I have a word of advice that was passed on to me by past President Mike Firth that was the best advice I ever got in my life. And this is for my friend, past District Governor Mark Kelch, and he can tell Ellen about this. Now, the reason you turn into a curve when you're on ice and snow is so that you have something to think about and do before you crash.
I think it's all yours. Lion Pat Osborne,
Looks like
everybody.
a wreck.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests. It's just about time for me to start respecting my elders again. Because this old man that I've been married to is going to have a birthday come Friday, and I only have to respect my elders until May when I turn 90.
Happy birthday to you.
Guys, I think we have to work on it a bit, huh? Any happiness up here? Any happy? Of course, yeah, but let's go down here first. Lion Phil Sims.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, a couple of athletic dollars today. Good news for Bill Pontius and the Seahawks. The Seahawks have had a very
very poor record with kickers the last few years, and Bill now being completely restored, that ought to be good. And secondly, I did a little research into the story at USC and buying away on the athletic teams and stuff like that. And I wondered how long that had been going on, so I checked on our beloved Trojan. And it turns out that he was bought onto a team at USC too, 50 years ago, 60 years ago. Unfortunately, the only opening they had was on the women's gymnastics team. So the team photo is memorable.
All right, Lion Kid.
I wasn't from I've got 3 quick happy bucks. First happy buck, Dwayne Smith. I'm glad to see you back. I didn't know you were gone. The other happy buck, while we were on vacation, we started a new process that my lovely wife and I would spend Sundays together doing something. This Sunday she made me walk 3 miles down the Astoria Waterway Walkway. Then we drove home on the windiest road, and I want to meet the guy that designed the road from Astoria up through Mist and Vernonia to Claskina. The guy had to have something in his mind. The other happy buck is I'm just happy to be here. What a great turnout today, and thank you all. Invocation by past district chair, district governor, Steve Patterson.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for allowing us to gather here today as Lions and friends. We pray your blessing on the families of the Harveys and the Daggies and the Jessens and Daryl and Tracy McDaniel in their trials and tribulations. We ask your blessing on us today as we eat the food and drink the beverage so that we strengthen our bodies, strengthen ourselves in our love for you and for each other. Amen.
Our pledge by Lion Tom Fulton. To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And our song by Secretary Phil Olson.
My country is a big sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my fathers died, land of thy pilgrims' pride, from every mountainside let freedom ring.
And I would ask all of you to remain standing and raise your glasses at the end of this to say, "We serve." I pledge allegiance to my country and to the cause of peace throughout the world. I believe in the principles of Lionism that are contained in the Lions Code of Ethics. I am proud to be a Pioneer Lion in service to our community. Please raise your glasses to the Pioneer Lions.
We serve.
Thank you. With that, introduction of guest, Bob Jessen.
President Ken, fellow members and guests, we do have a few guests in the house today. John Claypool, would you introduce your guest, please?
This is very important.
Yeah, it's his only guest, only friend.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, it gives me a great deal of pleasure to introduce to you again John Krazunas, and I'm introducing him as the newest member of the Longview Pioneer Lions.
Pickett has a guest.
President Kim, members and guests, I have a guest, Steve Spencer Boudreaux. Leave it to me. Anyway.
And also we have a guest, Nick Lemire is his sponsor. Of course, Nick, you know, sometimes he shows up, sometimes he don't. I think Ryan's already got better attendance since he's delighted to join than Nick. So our grandson, Brian Littlefield. I was looking around when we were saying our pledge, and he's going to raise the height of the group and also drop the age.
You were looking in a mirror when you said drop the age. With that, we have some business we'd like to take care of before we get to committee reports. We have in our presence a very outstanding member that is seeking a position with the Lions Site Foundation. He would like to become the third three-year term trustee for the Lions Site Foundation. Mike, you want to say a few words before we say no?
Come on, Mike.
That's good. The foundation is a very important part of the Lions.
Use a microphone, Mike.
President Kent, the Lions Site Foundation, which is located in Seattle, is very important to Lions work throughout Washington and northern Idaho. The three-year term that I would like to do as a trustee for District G. We've had a representative from this district for the last 3 years, and I finally saw him at a meeting the other day. So I'd like to represent the district at the foundation and try to let the district know a little more of what's going on. And I do thank you. If you do support me, I thank you.
Bill Olson.
Mr. President, on behalf of the Board of Directors who has endorsed Mike's candidacy, I would like to move that the full club endorse him for trustee.
And it's been seconded by Tom. All those in favor of endorsing Mike Parker for the three-year term for trustee?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Thank you. The secretary will present a letter to the proper people. That will take place at the spring conference, which will be May 17th at the Red Lion in Longview. Committee reports. Gail Bradley, Sunshine.
President Kent, fellow Lions and guests, I heard that Dolly Harvey's mother passed away, and Laura Lee is having some health issues. So just keep those people in your prayers.
And don't forget Ron Stomper, because he's only halfway through his flu. He brought the other half for us to enjoy. Great guy. Marilyn Patterson, zone report.
President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, I just want to remind you that not too far off, District G Spring Conference is May 17th and 18th. And just encourage all of you to attend. You can pay the fee and attend the seminars, but the luncheons always have great speakers, and it also is the responsibility of the zone chair to give a report on their zone. So I also will be involved in that one of those days during that time, the general sessions that you can attend. So I think there's applications over here. There's also application forms for any kind of contest and awards if you want to be involved. The other thing, just real quickly, I'm going to back up into April. April 29th is my third zone meeting. Council Club will be hosting that, and it will be over in the
Methodist Church. I'll give you more later on that.
Education Committee, George, you have anything? Marilyn, have anything? Nothing on education. Membership, Greg Firth. Nothing on membership from Greg Firth. Now, I know we'll have something on this. Taste of Italy, Cindy Pickett.
President Ken, members and guests. Taste of Italy is coming up April 13th at St. Rose Church. We have sign-up sheets here for the different duties that are needed. So if you want to come up here and sign up for one. We have posters up here. Got one left, Pat, and a bigger one to hand out. We need, who's whining? Who's whining? So we will need Marty Bartero brought us a big jug of wine and a sign. It's a kind of a country theme, so if somebody else has something, we'll go with country. George brought a Seahawk clock last week, so it's trickling in. I am going to send out a sign-up sheet around so everybody can donate something from a company or themselves. I was going to sell tickets today, but my person who's doing it is not here. So we'll do it next week. Yes. We need wine. We need wine, and Greg will take it. Donations of bottles of wine. This one doesn't go in the basket, I'm told. This goes to the wine person, which is Greg Swatson. So
The best deals on wine is on grocery outlet. Where is that?
Yeah, we're the best deal. All right, so there we go.
That's worth $1 for advertisement.
I didn't advertise my business.
You advertise for it's $1.
$10.
Okay, moving right along. We have a very, very important fundraiser coming up that we desperately need lots and lots of help. With that, Greg Swanson, you have anything you want to talk about for the spirits of Longview?
Mr. President, fellow guests and members, is Rick Johnson here today? Rick Johnson, my new good buddy Rick, who got a new band for our gig on the 3rd of July. 5 guys named Mo. And they have a 12-piece band, 5 horns. They do a really good dinner show. We're going to raise the price this year, but we're going to put on good entertainment. And we've got a second concession wagon coming in this year also. It's too bad we couldn't use the Lions, but hey. So things are progressing, as much as I hate to say that I wasn't going to get involved this year, but yeah. So anyway, thanks to Rick, we have a band. I believe so. That's
So we need as much help as we can give to give Greg some here.
Thanks for remembering my name.
Yeah, I've seen you somewhere. But anyhow, it's really a terrific event. Greg has done an outstanding job for the past several years putting this all together. It's come time for him to retire. He has done such a spectacular job. We need somebody out of the 167 members we have to step up and give him a hand with that and possibly look at taking it over next year. Cindy?
President Ken, members and guests, I almost forgot. Past president's meeting is March 27th. That's next Wednesday at Yang's Restaurant at 6 o'clock. And I've been putting out some emails, so if you have somebody that you think might be, that you know is interested in a board position, please let me know. You can email me. If you tell me face to face, it's going to go somewhere, not where it needs to. So, thank you. And that's just for past presidents only.
Now, adding to a little bit to that, I put on everybody's table in front of every seat descriptions of all the committees. On the back table by where Bob Jessen is, we have forms that tell you exactly what the expectations of board members are. Please take those and read them so you understand what you're getting into and the commitment you'll have to make. That's something that I felt that we need to let everybody know what these committees are and how they work. So with that, get in touch with Cindy, email Cindy or Marilyn or any of the past presidents for the meeting coming up a week from tomorrow night.
If you have information, I'm sorry, but if you have information, just email to me so that it's on one list.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's on the go at Scatter Creek.
Okay, with that, is there any other committee reports? If not, it is my honor to introduce Gina Ramey, our spokesperson chairman for the month, and to introduce our guest. Gina?
Yeah.
What did I say?
Gina.
Gina. What's the difference?
You sound like my
You sound like a what?
My grandpa.
A grandma? Thank you. Anyhow.
Here's what's her name.
Gina Ramey to introduce our guest, a special guest and friend.
Thank you, Ken.
Can I have my coffee cup?
Can you have your coffee cup? No, nope. You butchered my name. President Ken, fellow Lions and guests, it is my pleasure to introduce two of Habitat's finest. Sandy Anderson, she's been part of she grew up in Longview, Kelso, and she's gone to the area schools, graduated from Mark Morris. She worked for Seafirst / Bank of America, and she retired in 2013. And she took a year off, and then she decided that she had time to give back to the community that she'd grown up in. She became office manager at Habitat, and she's still there. Most of you know her. I've seen you waving at her. She's been married to Mark for 40 years, and she has 2 sons and 3 grandsons. So that's Miss Sandy. And then I have Angel Davison. She's newer to Habitat. Some of you may or may not know her, but she is an outreach volunteer coordinator for Habitat. Angel grew up in California, but she moved to the Northwest in 1999. So, that's longer than some of the rest of you out there. But she grew up in a Christian home where volunteering was a priority, and she has raised her children to be volunteers as well. And Angel has 2 daughters and 2. She didn't write what kind of kids she had, what gender, but she has 3 children and 2 granddaughters. I got the granddaughters part right because she wrote that down. But most of us are proud of our grandchildren, and we like to share that, which you probably heard here today. But she grew up volunteering, and she has taught that to her kids, and she loves this community, and she became the volunteer coordinator just within the last year.
Yeah, on staff now.
On staff. She's been working there through AmeriCorps, but thank God we have her for our own now. And so if you'll give a hearty Lions welcome to Angel and Sandy.
Thank you very much. I was kind of like, boy, am I going to go talk to a bunch of stuffy people? Well, you guys have proven me wrong. I love all the humor and the ribbing. Habitat is, I don't know how else to say it, but it's just grown deep in my heart. I've been with them 6 years this June, and I was introduced to them by the board president, and I thought, okay, I'll go and give it a year. They thought they were interviewing me. I interviewed them. 6 years later, here's something that has kept me at Habitat. I don't know if you guys know exactly what we do, but we are trying to, I won't say that we are going to end homelessness. I think homelessness has affected everybody in this room in one way or another. A friend, a family. My own son was homeless for a few months, so it really does. Habitat just kind of gets into your heart. We have built, right now, we are building our 30th home. Well, we're working on 2 right now, our 29th and 30th home. So the cars were 28? Okay, they were the 28th. Well, usually when I get a mic in my hand, I have no problem. So, does that help? Oh, okay. Uh-oh, here we go. Okay, I promise I'm going to get through this. This is when our homeowners, and they do become homeowners. We don't rent the home to them. We don't give the home to them. They do 500 sweat equity hours, 40 hours a month on putting that energy in volunteering on their home. 300, the people who are going to live in the home, they are required to put 300, and then friends and family can donate 200 of that 500 hours. They always do well above that. It's not a quick process because 90% of our homes are built from the ground up. So excavating to putting on the roof, and we have subcontractors that do some of the electrical and the plumbing. We want those to be done right. Not that we have anything against volunteers, but there are certain aspects that we need to do. We ask our homeowners, after they've gone through a very lengthy selection process, to write a letter. Why do they feel they need to be a Habitat homeowner? We need to know that they're going to be, once they get in that home, they're going to give back to this community. They'll have their children in the school, they'll start paying taxes on it, but what's the heart and soul of one? So, I'm going to get through this letter, and I may have to stop and breathe for a while. This was our homeowner number 27, a mother with 2 children, and we just, boy, has she been in the house a year?
Not yet.
Not quite a year yet. Okay, this is our home in Lexington that we just built. But when we ask them to write a letter, we usually get, a paragraph or 2. Get comfortable. Okay. Since 2011, our family has been in transitional living. I kept hoping that we would find something more stable, but as the years have gone by, it seems like we have been stuck where we are forever. I am thankful for our own place to live, but at the same time, it is depressing to be living in a camp trailer with no hope of being able to afford something more permanent. In February of 2011, our house burnt to the ground. Thankfully, we were not home, so we were all safe. In April of 2011, the devil convinced my younger brother that his life had no value, and he ended his life. On July 4th, my father-in-law lost his battle with cancer. My mother-in-law did not carry out his resting place wishes, which caused a lot of anger and hurt feelings in the family. Then my husband turned heavy into alcohol to deal with his feelings and stress. After the house fire, we lived for about a month in 2 different hotel rooms. Then we lived for a short time in 2 different rental houses. By August 2011, we were living in our 29.5-foot trailer in an RV park. We could not financially keep up with the payments on our land where our home had been and paid for our current lodging, so the land was foreclosed by the bank. We have been living in our travel trailer since then. The devil had convinced my husband that he needed alcohol to cope with his stress and chronic pain condition. In August 2011, Give you the paper when you're ready. Give you the paper. Okay. Does he interrupt often? No. I've been trying to for years, but he always finds me. In August 2011, my then husband went to jail for 6 months for assaulting a neighbor while under the influence of alcohol. He got out in February 2012. In June 2012, he went to prison for 3 years for assaulting his brother while again under the influence of alcohol. 8 days after he got out of prison, in April 2015, he was drinking again. Over the next year and a half, things deteriorated more than they ever had before. There were fits of anger, rage toward myself, and frequently that had not been before. There were also fits of anger, rage toward our son that had never been before. Our safety was compromised more frequently. Threats of injury or death were made to myself, our son, and our dog. We knew we needed to leave to be safe, but also feared for the safety of friends and our family who might help us. During this time, our family and church family could tell things were not right when they were praying for us, even though they didn't know what was going on. God answered their prayers and mine also. In November 2016, he put us in contact with Angie and a wonderful team of people at the emergency support shelter. The ESS gave my kids and I a safe, secure place to go. It gave me peace of mind that we would be safe, and so our friends and family. The legal advocates of the emergency support shelter helped me with the necessary court papers, work to provide safety for my children and myself. Mr. Kitty and the Northwest Justice Projects was a great help with the daunting paperwork and court hearing process for divorce. By the end of our allotted time to stay at the ESS, I had not been able to secure housing for my kids and myself. There were long waiting lists, high rent prices, and having a large dog, very large dog, made finding housing impossible. Our housing available at my price range were 1-bedroom or smaller apartments. Anything larger was expensive, that I would not have been able to afford the utilities. It was very discouraging. We ended up taking our travel trailer back to the RV park. We have now been living in our 29.5-foot travel trailer for over 6 years. Brianna was almost 6 years old when our home was burnt, and she does not remember even having a bedroom of her own. When I realized that Brianna does not remember living in a house and only a trailer, that was a very depressing thought for me as a mother. My daughter, 13 years old, and has no memory of living in a house trailer, and a trailer is all she remembers. It was also frustrating not to possess the financial ability to provide a house. When I found out about Habitat for Humanity, I was like someone had turned on a light in my dark tunnel. I was so hopeful, but also trying to get my hopes up too much in case it was too good to be true. We could actually build our own home. My daughter and I would no longer have to share a bed. My son could have a space to move and work on projects. He could take a shower with water running the whole time because we haven't had more than 5 gallons of hot water. We had counter space so we could cook, bake together, a full-size oven, cabinet space, and a bathroom big enough to put plants on without having to open the bathroom door. No more leaving the faucet running during freezing weather to keep the water lines from freezing. No more dumping the potty tank every week. Most of us, and I did change the words there, most of us would have a house to make memories in. My kids could invite friends over and spend the night. Family could come over and we could have family dinners in our house. We could have church nights in our house. We prayed, our church prayed, our family prayed, and our friends prayed that we would get to partner with Habitat for a House on March 7th, 2018. We got our prayers answered. We get to partner with Habitat to build our own home. God is providing for the security and stability of our future through Habitat. This is a young mother, well, I think she's young, who through the whole application process, We do credit reports, we do background checks. We talk with their employers. She works in the school system. She's been there for 8 years. Never once, when you speak with her, will you know any of this was in her life. I did not know this about her until after she was chosen and this letter came across my desk. There's always a smile on her face. Yeah, it grew bigger after she got her home, and yes, it's important that she has a place for her children, and her daughter has her own bedroom now. We did kind of insist that she put a fence up for the dog, a very large dog. But this is just one of the stories that we have with Habitat. It keeps me there. I will always be a volunteer, even after I do my second retirement, probably in 10 years, who knows. But that's just one part of the process. When we are providing hope, a home, and security for these families, we ask a lot of them, even after they're done, that we need them to stay and partner with us so that we can pass it on to the next person. We've been in this community since 2002 or 2000. Like I said, we're working on our 29th and our 30th homes right now. We have 3 of those homes were, and I love this part, they're rehab homes. We have done them, but 2 of the families have outgrown them. So we get first right of buyback on the homes. So we go in and we redo them, and even if the house is built, the family who's going to get that home still has to put in 500 hours of sweat equity. And if it's not needing to put the walls up or in the current home, there's another house that they can work on. And there can be the store. I don't know if you guys have all visited our Habitat store. You've probably donated to it. We take everything. I always like that saying from Sears, the soft side. Well, we don't take the softer side. We take all the hard stuff. The cabinets, if you're redoing your kitchen, we'll take your toilets, and if you're redoing your bathrooms, just about if you have a couple extra pieces of sheetrock that you didn't need, somebody needs it. And sometimes, I'm in the window over in the office and I can see things unloading off the dock at the store. Some of them don't even make it into the store, and you have to keep showing people away. Let us get it in, let's make sure it works, and clean it up and get it priced. But yeah, they'll follow that piece of whatever they needed all the way through the store, and it'll walk out the same day. This is something you don't know. We had a management meeting today. We had the management meeting, we just weren't in there. Our store is located in Kelso. It's open Wednesday through Saturday, 9 to 5. You probably don't know this either. We've been trying to extend the store hours. So starting April 16th, we will be opening the store on Tuesdays through Saturdays, 9 to 5. So that is huge. Each affiliate gets to choose their own hours, days, and times, and we've been wanting to extend our times. Wednesdays, when the store first opens, my gosh, it's just the busiest place in Kelso. So now we'll extend that to Tuesday, and hopefully that will become, a continual place. So we take donations on any time the store's open. We like them to end about 4:30 so that we have time to get them in the store and we can get the store closed at 5. But there are many aspects of Habitat. The store and the homeowners are just two of them. Do you want to talk about what you kind of? Well, we do try and do some community work also. Are you keeping track of my 15 minutes?
Question after she talks.
Okay. 2 minutes.
2 minutes left? I can do that.
No, you can't.
I can do that.
Okay. Our brush with kindness project.
Okay. How do you do this? President Ken, members, fellow guests? I practiced that for like 10 minutes. She covered pretty much all of it. Our families, they become family to us. So that's why the letters really mean a lot to us. And the community, it takes everybody in the community to make this work, especially our volunteers, our donators to the store, people that donate money to Habitat. They know how important it is. On my side, the volunteer side, I get to help people, which is amazing to me. I love that. So we have our build sites. We have an open enrollment meeting to find a new family on April 16th. We have flyers for that if you know anybody who would like to come. It's an informational meeting. We talk about the program. They see if it's a good fit, and if it is, they stay and they fill out an application, and then we go through that process. I'm sorry? Oh. So that's April 16th. We have a 12 o'clock meeting and a 6 o'clock meeting this time. We usually just have one meeting. There's, of course, the Brush with Kindness project, which we help homeowners, low-income homeowners, with their outside, their yard, their pressure washing, that kind of stuff to beautify the neighborhoods, one house at a time, one neighborhood at a time for our community, which is amazing. We're out there pressure washing, sweeping, pulling weeds, which I love. I don't like being in the office much, so.
Come on over.
So that is,
Children this summer.
that is for low-income homeowners. The reason we don't do it for renters is because we've done that in the past. We fix up their homes, the landlords turn around, kick them out, and then bring in new renters to charge more money. So we don't do that. But I think that's a great program. You can always donate to that program through our website, which is calithabitat.org. And I think she covered pretty much everything. So thank you for your hospitality and the great food.
Question?
And Gina?
Ask for questions.
Questions?
This isn't a question, it's a statement. Do you know who the most famous volunteer for Habitat for Humanity is?
No. Well, I do believe it was a president.
He was a lion.
The mine, Jimmy Carter.
Yeah. A lot of people think he started Habitat, but he didn't. But he was.
He didn't start.
No, he didn't.
Just another comment for those folks in the room who might be downsizing or have parents who's passed or have a brother who's a hoarder.
Oh.
That's if you forgive Habitat, it's everything that's in their garage. Because usually I have a picture, and every once in a while there's that part you can't get into the world. You can't find it at Home Depot. Nobody has that tool. But go to Habitat, and there it is.
Thank you for that, yeah.
On the shelf,
You're right.
waiting for you to purchase it for nothing.
And we have 2 trucks. We will come and get it.
Yes.
Can you reserve them back to back every day?
Yeah. Call the store. We don't take clothing. We take beds. We don't take mattresses. That's kind of a standard legal thing. But we take dishes, small appliances,
Medical equipment.
There are some things the volunteers just can't carry. But yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, medical clothing is really important for those elderly and the handicapped. They come in and there's walkers and canes and all kinds of stuff.
We just had I was telling we have 3 rehab, we have 3 homes turned back to us. One of them, Nate, was a quadriplegic. And his 40 hours a year volunteering was he sat out in front of the build site in his wheelchair, greeting every volunteer, making sure they signed in and signed out and thanking them as they left. Nate's condition, unfortunately, he's not being able to keep his home, so we've done the paperwork and taken it back. But he had one of those big, high, fancy wheelchairs, electric wheelchairs. He donated that to Habitat. And we were at the building bridges this last week, and that wheelchair was driving around. It was purchased, so it had a need. Mark, you didn't have a question? Oh, okay. You're so close, I couldn't see where it was going.
So, just another comment. When I downsized the building, I brought 1,100 pounds of door hinges, unused door hinges.
Wow.
And the gal looked at me and she was like, how could you possibly have this many door hinges? And so on the door window place, and we start unloading it, she looks at me and she goes, these are all brand new. And of course, this is how the line says, do you have this bruises over
And I'm sure volunteer had a great time sorting all that out. Thank you again. If you have any questions, please.
All right. We typically give this to our speakers. This is a mug for your favorite beverage. Wine, red wine will look really good in there. And this is an application for membership to this group.
Thank you.
And we accept volunteers too.
You guys didn't scare us away. Oh, can I have one thing?
No.
Yeah, just one.
Yes, ma'am.
She's assertive.
For your dinner, your tour of Italy dinner, Taste of Italy, I do have quite a little bit of full wine selection, so Ian and I are going to get together. I'll donate some bottles.
Thank you. And once you turn your application in, you got an in here, we'll get you in.
When are you retiring?
What?
When are you retiring?
When am I retiring?
From the Lions.
From the Lions?
You said to turn my application in. I was just making sure.
Making sure you were going to be gone.
Everybody wants me out of here by July 1st. With that, thank you very much for coming today. It's really terrific, and you know something? At 6 o'clock in the morning when the alarm sounds, a lot of stuff at Habitat for Humanity will get up and walk out of Marnie's house. With that, our secretary reminded me that the first thing we're doing today is senility, because I keep forgetting it.
Mr. President, sir, it's a red letter day for senile people. Our lovely Jessen family neglected to sign in, and they have the sign-in sheet right in front of them. Past President Patrick Palmer and Greg Swanson.
Okay, dessert drawing. Hey, did Sorensen buy a ticket, or did you just put his name in? I'm proud of you, Dick. Lucky blue ticket. 208, 294. Who all's left in it? 1. Tom again. While we're waiting for that drawing, the lucky red ticket, 657, 514. Cindy Session, where you want it to go? Relay for Life, thank you. Just a couple of quick reminders. We have next Tuesday will be our installation and award luncheon. We've got a couple new members coming in. We got blue badges to give away. We got all kinds of neat things going on. Come on down next week. Greg Swanson needs help, especially drinking or collecting the wine. for the spaghetti feed and his work for the Church of Longview.
I'll do it on this one.
With that, we appreciate everybody.